Hello everybody, I hope you're doing okay. I hope none of you have coronavirus, and I hope you're all safe. So we're going to be doing some online lessons, and this is the first of mine. This lesson will be on the neritic zone. The neritic zone is one of those zones that we were talking about. You will remember that on the coast, on the ocean, there are the intertidal zone, which we have talked about, which includes rock pools, beach, and salt marshes. Then there is the neritic zone, which is above the continental shelf and still in shallow water. This is what we will talk about today. Later, we will talk about the open ocean zone. This includes the deepest parts of the ocean. So today, we have the neritic zone. The neritic zone is above the continental shelf, as you can see, between the low tide line of the intertidal zone and the open ocean zone. The neritic zone gets lots and lots of sunlight. The sun can get all the way down into the shallow parts of the neritic zone. The neritic zone also gets of nutrients. Nutrients can come from the land, or they can come from the deep ocean in an upwelling. The combination of sun and nutrients is important for the organisms of the neritic zone. The neritic zone has the most life in all of the oceans. This includes seaweed, fish, and bigger animals like whales. Why is this the case? Well, the neritic zone gets lots of sunlight. Why? Because the water is shallow. Lots of light gets to the bottom. The neritic zone also gets lots of nutrients. This comes from land in rivers and comes from the deep ocean in upwellings. Sunlight and nutrients gives lots of plankton. You guys will remember that plankton are tiny animals or plants that are food for bigger organisms like fish and even bigger organisms like whales. So plankton means there will be lots of life in the ocean. So now we're going to talk about a special habitat in the neritic zone. You guys will remember that a habitat is a place an organism lives. Thousands or millions of organisms live on coral reefs. They are very, very diverse. What is coral, though? And where do coral reefs come from? Coral are tiny animals. That may surprise you, but they are rather like jellyfish, except that coral have very hard skeletons. You can see the skeleton in the bottom of this picture. Corals make their hard skeleton during their life. When the coral dies, the skeleton stays. So after many, many years and many, many corals, we get a coral reef. Coral reefs can be very, very big structures. They are very important to all life in the neritic zone. But why do corals live in the neritic zone? Well, corals are animals, so they don't need light. But corals do need light in a strange way. Inside corals lives algae. Algae are tiny, tiny plants that use sunlight to make food for the coral. You can see the algae as the brown dots in this picture. So inside coral there are tiny plants called algae, and they use light to make food for the coral in photosynthesis, just like plants do on land. Lastly, we're going to talk about a special kind of coral reef. These coral reefs are called atolls. Atolls are coral reefs that form in the deep ocean. You guys will remember that volcanic islands can be formed when a volcano under the ocean reaches the surface. After many years, a fringing reef of corals will surround the volcanic island. Volcanic islands can sink, however, into the earth. And when the volcanic island sinks, it leaves a barrier reef behind. A barrier reef is a reef that is far away from the volcanic island. As the volcano keeps sinking, it disappears under the ocean, leaving a ring-shaped coral reef. This ring-shaped coral reef is called an atoll. Inside the atoll, there is a small area of water called a lagoon. A lagoon is a still area of salty water. Okay, guys. So, our new terms for today were coral reef, coral, algae, fringing reef, barrier reef, atoll, and lagoon. Make sure you know what these words mean, and I would like you to read the 2 pages I have sent to you out of our book, and also do the questions in the Word document I have sent to you. Okay? Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.